Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd give you a little update of what's coming down the tube here. For too long, while I tied up a fly this morning, I been pretty busy. I haven't been able to really do much videotaping because of had a bunch of stuff going on there for a little bit. Got today off, and it's gonna be a really nice day today. 70 degrees, sunny. Got to get out in the yard, do some yard work. Yeah, right on. Burn day even. Get to burn some big burn piles. Recently I was able to go up and go to Albany, Oregon to the Northwest Fly Tires Fly Fishing and Fly Tying Expo. That was really fun. A lot of cool people up there. Great turnout. Was able to one of the things I liked and enjoyed about this year's show was I really got to talk. Had a nice conversation with the owner of Fly Tires Dungeon, Doug Brewer. I believe that's his name. And found out some things about his company and his new products that are on the way, and just really had a good time. Spent a lot of money with the guy. Bought a lot of materials. Good stuff. I saw a bunch of my friends there, Jason Miller and Joel Hill, and met Tom LeGros. Never met him before, and he's on Facebook quite a bit with me. And Tony Muncie from Muncie Designs, he was up there, and of course my buddy Jay Nicholas. Yeah, right on. Always good to see Jay. He's going to be in the Ashland Fly Shop doing a 2-day fly tying seminar. I think March 25th and 26th. I think it's might be shank flies on the 25th and tube flies on the 26th, or the opposite. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he's going to be there. I got to work and can't go to that one, but sure would like to be there. Anyway, that was a really good time. I always look forward to and enjoy going to that show every year now. It's only my second year, but yeah, I'll be going to that one as long as they have it, and as long as I'm able. I talked to you earlier about possibly doing a video on just an overall video just for composite loops. Still working on that. I shouldn't say working on it. It's in the making. It's in the idea stage, if you will. It's on the schedule. Also, I've had a couple of requests for doing a fly time video on the Dirty Hoe. So I might give you my version of that and see where that goes with it. I was also able to do a little fishing. Last Sunday I got out and here in the local area, and was very blessed to swing up a great big old giant hen, and I was a very happy camper. Let me show you the fly I took it on. Right here. I tied a couple up last night because my box was getting low on them. This is the fly, and this is the color. This is it right here. This pattern is not an exact pattern or match to what Paul Moore was tying on Facebook as what he's calling a bead chain eye streamer. But this particular fly is a little bit different, but it's very close. Bucktail, crystal flash, a ribbed, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's try. It's got a copper ribbed body, and then it's got a nice dubbing ball inside there with some flash, some crinkle flash, and then the hair is fin raccoon. and then a couple grizzly hackles over the top. This is on a, let's see, what hook is that? TMC 9395 in a size 2. It's 4 extra long and 3 extra heavy. And it did a great job on that bigger fish. Yeah, so anyway, and you can change up the color combos if you want. I've got some purple, and I've did black and pink too. Really like this fly a lot. Cast good. So anyway, that's what I was working on lately. Got to restock the box with a few of those. Okay, actually tying up another one right now. I think I might switch up the color today, though. I got a couple orange ones. I'm going to maybe go purple. Do you want to join me for this one? Maybe we can make this into a fly tying video now. You probably don't like that. I don't like that. Maybe I should switch that around. Maybe let's try this. Instead of putting... I don't have my white t-shirt on. So I hope you can see that, okay. Let's center that. Oops, sorry. Remember, we don't have the big professional editing stuff here, so we're total winging this. So if I make a goofy comment or a boo-boo, you're going to see it. Alright. Why not? Let's tie it. So I hope everybody out there in YouTube land is doing well and looking forward to spring. They're at the end of winter in the Midwest. It kind of got cold and nasty for them folks, and I came from Michigan back in the day, and I really understand how depressing that could be when you're just so close to the end of it, but at the same time it's still kind of hanging on. I think that's a little too much and a little too long, so I'm just going to remove a few. And I like to use this bucktail to bulk up my body before I get to wrap it in the tinsel. So I'm just going to come on top here and lay it on the top of the shank and secure it with the ends right butted up to those dumbbell eyes. I don't use the bead chain because it's not heavy enough for me. I need it to be getting down into some deeper holes. So I just went to something that looked kind of like bead chainish, but it's not. I imagine the bead chain fly will cast a lot better, a little lighter, but so be it. Alright, come in now with a little orange crystal flash. Not too much. Let's see here. I don't know. 6, 7, 8 strands. And the same thing, I like to use it to bulk up the body. So I make it as long as the tail and bulk it up to the end of the, or butt up the ends to that eye again. See, right to the eye. Come in on top again. Light wraps so that it just kind of lays in place, and then when you go to lay it in, you can put a little more pressure on that thread, get it in there. Now you need to determine your overall length of your body, and I usually run it right in line with the end of the tip of the hook. It's a little past it right now, but that's good. I like that. Now, where did I put? Oh no! Where did it go? We're looking for the copper wire. I know it's right here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I knew it was close. Alright. I'm trying to make at least one video a week, but I know I'm a little off right now, but that way kind of keep you interested. I do appreciate everybody who has subscribed and has been giving me some comments and watching along with me. It's been very new to me, but it's been fun. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. I like to extend this past about maybe to the eye of the hook, and once again on top of the shank. Come in loose wraps, guide her right in there, right where you want it, right on top of the shank. And then we're going to come in, go all the way right behind the eye, secure it pretty good here. See how it's wanting to stand up now? Now what I'm going to do is just fold that right back over on itself. Okay, there we go. Go right to the back again. Your capturing point for this part of the portion of tying the fly is all done at the back and the front there. Now I need, for $1.37 at the craft store around Christmas time. Let me tell you something, boys and girls. It just makes sense to buy one of these instead of get those spools for $2.50 or whatever it is. I've got the spools, don't get me wrong. But when I saw this, I was like, woohoo, game on. $1.37. Once again. Yeah. Alright. Come on. Where's my nail? I'm not going to use the nail. Okay. There's just a couple. What I like to do on this one is, this is enough for 4 flies. Because what I'm going to do is cut them 50-50. Bam. There we go. Just take one now. Once again, lay it in, butt up to the eyes, on top of the shank, and secure it. Right, and go all the way to the back again. You want to try and keep everything nice and smooth from the standpoint of not a bunch of bumps. And the reason for that is the next step. If we make sure you take your thread up to your capturing point, which is at the front of the fly now, and we're going to just wrap this forward around everything. It just looks nicer. It's just a better fly when everything's smooth. This one's got a little bit of a fat spot in the, or taper to it in the middle, but it's even. It's not like a roller coaster where it's up and down. It's a nice even taper. So taking it all the way to the front, right behind those eyes again. Everything so far has been captured right behind the eye, those dumbbell eyes. Those dumbbell eyes are 4.8 millimeter, or I think it's 1/8. I think that's what that is. They're pretty big, pretty heavy, but like I said, I need it to be that way so that I can get down in those big deep holes where those steelhead are laying. Okay, so now we're going to run this wire to the front. Here we go. It looks kind of fuzzy. Can I get a better focus? I guess that's okay. Now I'm just going to, I like to build a little copper wire butt, if you will. One right tight next to the other. This is where your rotating vise really comes in handy, because you can do it that way. We could have spun the tinsel that way too. I don't know, 7. I like 7. Now when I get to where my butt is ready, now all I have to do is just hold it out on an angle, and the wraps will be just darn near perfect by rotating it and running it all the way to the front of the fly, where I'm going to wrap it one time, come back on the top and capture it again. Now I can cut it out of there. Now remember, you pay $20 for these Dr. Slick nice scissors here. It makes no sense to cut wire with them. Don't do it. Use your clippers. Now I am ready to start building the front half of this fly, but I need to bulk up this back half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a 1/4 inch of room that from behind the eyes, 1/4 inch back. Okay? And then from there, I'm going to take my Fly Tires Dungeon Starburst Fibers Orange and make a small dubbing ball. Now I want to talk to you about this. This company's awesome, super great prices. The materials that he's putting out for the synthetic composite looper dudes, these swing guys, gadget guys, anybody using dubbing. This is some good stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to lay a pinch out there, and I'm going to hand spin it. You can do a dubbing loop here if you want. I just don't want to take the time to do that, because this is just as quick, just as fast. I have a little more control this way, I think. I can, by spinning that on there, I can determine how thick I want it to be. So I'm going to go 3 to the back. There's 2. There's 3. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to go forward with 2 wraps over top of those 3. And now I'm going to come in with a single wrap right down the center. And that makes a nice little dubbing ball. Now I've got all this excess. I'm just going to pull it off, spin it, and go to the front of that dubbing loop. And now I'm done and ready. Okay? Doesn't matter. Alright. Now, what I like to do is a couple wraps right in front of that ball and just half hitch it so that everything's nice and tight and good to go. Oh, I missed that. Start again. There we go. Pinch, pull, push. Half hitch, pinch, pull, push. Okay, we're good. Oh, just broke the thread. Don't panic. When you break the thread like that, you've half hitched it. It ain't going nowhere. So just come on the, just take like so. Come on the top. Wrap right over top of your thread. Grab your scissors. You're back in business. Okay, good. It ain't going nowhere. So now we have to do a composite loop of the. I wish it was Fin Raccoon. They were out of it. They didn't have the right color, so I had to get Flame Orange. Temple Fox is what we're going to use this morning. It's coming out okay, but it's not what I want. Just to let you know, the Fin Raccoon in the wintertime is a really good choice over Marabou, because Marabou can get brittle in the cold water and literally break, as to where Fin Raccoon is a fur and it doesn't break. So keep that in mind for your winter fishing. They kind of look the same. One's got a little bit longer hair, if you will, to work with than the other, but I like them both. Alright, so I didn't, that looked like I flipped you off. Dubbing loop, you can't see it on my shirt, but it's yay big. And I don't know, that big. 5 inches? 4 inches? Key component, wax. I'm going to say it again. Try not to put wax where you're not going to have material, because it ends up getting on the material outside of the material on the surface. You don't want any wax on any of your surface material. Alright, so I'll take my little dubbing tool, drop it in there, and just now it's holding it in place for me. It's out of the way. Now I have to come in and get my orange Temple Fox and grab me a pretty decent hunk of it. Now, in the beginning, I was material handling this. I was trying to lay it flat and cut it underneath with the scissors. And let me show you a really easy, cool way, good way. Thank you, Jason Osborne of the Portland Fly Shop, for this material handling tip. What you're going to do is you're going to grab what you want, which is about that much, and you're going to take your fingers and you're going to pinch it all the way down to that hide. And then you're going to reach in with your hair scissors and you're going to go in right next to your fingers, poke through, lay it down, and snip it right off there like so. Then remove your hand. I got what I need. And it's a nice and tight cut to the hide. Alright, now you're not done. I want you to notice all of this long hair, these guard hairs, they got to go. So what we're going to do is just start to pull them out. If you hold it up to the light or the sunshine, you can see them very easily. They're kind of they're not fuzzy looking. They're straight and they're sticking out. The longest ones are sticking out. We've already cut it down pretty good to that. But what I'm going to do now is cat go, baby. Alright, so I'll show you. Maybe I can do it up here. See? Yucky. We don't want the yucky. We want only the good. So what I'd like to do now is take this and swap it end for end. And I'm going to comb out this end now. Okay, good. Now all you have is what you are going to be working with. Now the overall length of this, we don't want it back here. We want it more up here. And I'm going to be filling that darn near that whole 1/4 inch that we had in the beginning there with the orange. So it's kind of crucial that you don't tie it in to your composite loop too long right now. So what we want to do is kind of just start to eye it up for length. I think that's good, and if I had to guess, I'm thinking that's a little bit over 1 inch, maybe. Got a couple guard hairs in here I don't like. I'm going to get rid of them. You can get rid of them later too, but it's nice to just have it ready. Okay, now once you determine your length, come in here with a good sharp pair of scissors and snip it relatively close to that desired length on your fingers there, and get the ends of it all nice and straight, because now what you're going to do is take and open it up right in your hand to about maybe 2 inches worth. Can you see that? 2 inches worth. Okay, right there. And then open up your loop. Insert it into the loop. Get your finger out of there. Now we're ready to start to line this up a little better. Could you spin it right now? Absolutely. Sure could. Don't get it too close to the ends, but don't have it sticking, you know, 1/2 inch up past the thread. And I like to even come in here and get rid of all the ones that are sticking up with the scissors, so now it's really nice. And this is a material that you can't spin super tight right off the beginning because it's just a bear to pick out. So what you have to do, place the thread in the crease of your thumb, or finger, pardon me. Spin it slowly. Okay, watch. Slowly. It's spinning slowly. Now the material's just starting to turn, 3, 4, 5 turns. Okay, stop. Pull it a little bit. Just pull on it a little bit. Now, with your pick, your bodkin, whatever you're going to use, come in here and lightly, I say, pick it out, and it'll spin all the way around in a 360 if you put a little pressure on it for you. See that? Wait, that didn't want to be in the party? It ain't going to be in the party. It's done. It's gone. Alright, now. It's still not tight enough to brush, so we have to give it a few more spins. But it's going to be needing, before you brush it, to pick it again. So pick it again. Alright, good. Now, toothbrush, light brush, get her all out of there. All ready. Everything that doesn't want to be in the party goes. Alright. Now, stand it up. You can use water here if you want, but I haven't been. It's been just fine not using it. And if you wanted to add something to that loop, you could have, but I am not at this time. And we're just stroking it all back, making sure that none of the materials are trapped, just like you would on a composite loop. You want to make sure your thread's up there in the capturing position, out of your way, because it's a pain if it gets in the way. And you're just walking it up nicely, stroking back your temple fox. Okay, stroke it back, everything's out of the way, make a loop. You gotta kind of pinch your material on your hook. If you don't, it has a tendency to come off, and that's kind of a bummer. You have to switch over to your dubbing tool and grab it, but we'll show you that if it happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Stroke it out of the way, lift up, everything once again out of the way. Takes a little bit sometimes to get every single hair stroked back and out of the way. Come in front again. You're butting these wraps right tight next to each other, but not on top of each other. And you're walking it all the way to the front or of the fly, which is and to the back of the eyes. Okay, moving forward. All right, good. All right, now I like to come over the top of the eyes and get out in front, make a few wraps, come in here with the existing thread that was hanging, waiting to capture it. Capture it a few times. Now I can cut this and get this little dubbing tool out of the way. Okay, it's out of the way, everything's secured and captured. Alright, got a little piece of black thread that's bothering me and I gotta get it. There we go, you are gone. Now, with my brush, I can come in here and pick this out. Brush it out. Forward. Everything forward. Now here's a little something I like to do as well. The reason I make my dubbing balls a little bit bigger in the back that are supporting this hair is now I can come in with my Velcro toothpick or brush. It's just a popsicle stick with some Velcro on it. And if I come and I stroke it forward on that dubbing ball, I'm getting that dubbing ball to kind of open up a little bit and let some of that wonderful sparkly dubbing blend into the hair from the back. Okay? Alright. Now, there's a couple steps we need to do before we tie in the next bit of hair, which is a black fin raccoon. So I come in and make some good wraps behind the eyes and build up a little base, because now I'm going to add orange crinkle flash. 3 strands. Center the 3 strands. And tie it in right to the exact side of the shank. Right on the exact halfway point of the shank. There it is there. Once, twice. Okay, now take the existing out the front and wrap it over the top, behind the eye. Capture it with your thread exactly in the same place on the other side. Halfway. Perfect. Stroke everything back. Wrap it really good. You may want to put a 1/2 inch in right here so that you can just let your thread rest and not have to worry about coming loose and letting go of anything you may have captured. Sorry, I was right in the way there. I didn't really take much time to set up the camera this time. Alright, so there is the flash, crinkle flash. Now, Joel Hill up at the Albany Fly Tying Show was so kind to dye me some of this yellow grizzly hackle. I don't want to call it chartreuse because it's not the official chartreuse color. Of more towards the green, I guess, is chartreuse. But I'm going to select 2 of these grizzly hackles that are going to come just past the about halfway point on the tail. Let's call it that. These are just gorgeous and beautiful. I like to try and find 2 of them that are really close to each other on the cape. I probably should have selected this before I tied this, but here's 2 of them right here. Yeah, this is going to work. Alright. 2. Okay? So what I'll do now is I'm going to line up these tips on the very end and make sure they're exactly the same length. Exactly the same. Not a little bit past. Exactly matching tips. There we go. Okay, got it. Come up to the front. Lay them right on top of each other. Tips are matching. And I'm going to measure, just eye up measure. Lay it on there. That looks about right to me. Now I come up here, grab my scissors, give myself a 1/4 inch of stem, cut it off. Now, before you let go of your pinch, clean those stems off, and now they're ready to tie in to the top. Okay? What you have to watch out for is, on one side of the grizzly hackle is a brilliant, vibrant color, and the back side is not so brilliant and vibrant. You want both of the vibrant colors on the left and the right sticking, facing out. If you don't pay attention to that, it just doesn't look right at the end of the fly. So, what I'll have to do is flip one of them over. Okay, so now they're both correctly placed to where the vibrant color on each side is sticking out. However you choose to tie these in is your call. I like to try and tie them in at the same time, because I know that if I tie in these 2 tips, these 2 stem tips together at the same time, I know that my tips on the tails are going to be the same because I made sure that they're exactly the same to begin with. So I'm just going to tie that in. It's wanting to kind of do a little hickey-wocka job.